Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be recommending you guys some books. Okay, come in real close, I am the romance book connoisseur. Don't tell nobody. When I walk into Barnes & Noble, I feel like I already know what I'm gonna buy. You know, it's either poetry or romance. Some of these are like my absolute top favorites, and some of these are just books that just left a mark. They touched my heart, or when I got done reading, I had to research the author. That's how you know the book is good. So we gonna be yapping in this video. There's gonna be a lot of this, so we might as well just get started because it's gonna take a while. Okay, so the first author that I'm going to be talking to you guys about is Mariana Zapata, aka my girl MZ. Okay, she knows how to write. Her books are so good. The way I like to describe it to my friends is it's like you're literally watching a movie. You're reading her books and it's literally you're sitting on the couch eating snacks, watching a movie. You close the book, you pause the movie. You know what I'm saying? It's so good. The first book that I'm gonna be recommending by her is called All Roads Lead Here. Okay, baby, because all roads do lead here. Y'all need to read this, okay? This book is amazing. If you love like small town romances, this is for you. I promise. Now let me set the scene. Let me set the scene for you guys, okay? So the main character's name is Aurora, and she's kind of trying to find her way in life. She doesn't know where she's going. She doesn't know what's gonna happen. She's just kind of going with the flow, okay? So already me and her are twinning him, okay? She's moving back to her hometown, okay? She's kind of hesitant about this decision, but baby, it's the best decision she's ever made. By the end of the book, you're gonna know that. So she moves in, right? Everything's fine and dandy. She's trying to get back into the wave of being in her hometown, and her landlord shows up and everything just gets flipped upside down, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I can't give away too much, because if I give away too much, it's not gonna be as satisfying, but I promise you, the tropes in here is perfect. If you love a good close proximity trope, this book is for you. It has a very cozy and homey vibe to it. I think I read this book last year, my junior year of high school, and I was sitting in a cafeteria, but I swear when I opened this book, I was there with her. Her writing and her description is so insanely good. I'm gonna give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It has everything I need. It gives what it needs to give. Like, if this could be turned into a movie done right, I would be very satisfied. This next book is called Wait For It. This book kind of has a similar vibe to it, like a small town vibe. It's a little bit less naturey than All Roads Lead Here. That book is kind of more like we're in a cabin in the woods and, you know, the smell of the trees and the birds, and you know what I'm saying? This book is more of just like you're living in a suburban neighborhood, kind of like a small community. Now the difference between this main character and the last main character is this main character, she has 2 kids and she's trying to find her way in life. It's trial and error, you know, she's making mistakes, but she's trying to get through it. Nothing in her life is really guaranteed. Like, everything's very spare of the moment for her. One of her sons plays baseball, right? And the coach is the romantic interest in this book. Guys, this book ate, I fear. Now, me personally, little kids and books can take a book from a slow sizzle to a slow burn, okay? They slow everything down. But in this book, the way she wrote it, her sons are kind of helping her in this situation. They want to see her happy. It's just so heartwarming. This book is truly one of my favorites by her. It just really shows like how fast things can change in your life. You have to make it over all of these hurdles, and I think she did a pretty good job. And she got a pretty hot boyfriend in the process. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. All right, guys, we're moving right along to some fantasy books, okay? I love fantasy and I love romance, so when you put them together, it's literally a match made in heaven. I have 2 books that I'm gonna recommend you guys, and these are like my top favorite. So this book is called A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kammerer. Y'all, this is like, I'm not even joking, my favorite book, like, of all time. I got this book, I think 2 years ago, and my family and I were going on a road trip, and the road trip was about 8 or 9 hours long. When I tell you, I could not put this book down the entire road trip. This book is a Beauty and the Beast like spin-off. The male main character, his name is Prince Ren, and he gets cursed. The curse is that he has to repeat the autumn of his 18th year, which is his 18th birthday. And if you know the context of the book, you know that that specific time in his life was not pretty, okay? So he has to keep reliving this, and the only way to break the cycle is finding his one true love. This is where our female main character comes in. Her name is Harper. She is not to be messed with. The way that this book is set up, there's two realms. One realm, there's Prince Ren, and in the other, there's Harper. Harper somehow finds her way in this realm where Prince Ren is, and you know, obviously she's confused. I think we would all be a little bit spooked, to say the least. When she is sent to this place, she's kind of confused and she wants to go back home, you know, because things back home are not the best with her and her family, so she's trying to get back to fix that, but she's forced to stay in this place so that the curse can be broken, if that makes sense. There's no way I can describe this book to do it justice. It's so good. I give this a 5 out of 5. If I could give it a 10 out of 5, a 20 out of 5, a 50 out of 5, like I would. Also the cover art, like, are we seeing this, y'all? That is beautiful. Okay, our next book is Twisted Games by Anna Hong. I have a lot of books by her. Her writing is so good. This book is a princess bodyguard romance, which I'm a fan of. It's kind of your generic story where the princess is rebellious. She doesn't want to follow the rules, you know, she wants to be normal like her friends and go to college and have a normal life. But obviously for the safety of the kingdom, she just like simply cannot do that. That is when her parents hire the bodyguard, okay? He kind of does all of the logical thinking of the pair. His story is kind of untold in the beginning, so he's very mysterious, which, you know, some girlies like, and I am a part of that some girlies, okay? It's very dramatic and over the top, you know, with the royalty stuff and like the status and the press, which I love. I love getting into the story and the characters because that's what we're here to do, you know? I give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It is really, really good. It's still really high up there. Okay, so these next two books are kind of books that give me like Netflix romance vibes, like almost borderline cheesy, but like good, you know what I'm saying? If you're looking for a book that can make you laugh, like this is the one. This is 100% a rom-com movie on pages. The story is just so like absurdly funny. Like let me paint the picture for you guys, okay? Our main character Nicole, right? She goes to a baseball game with her boyfriend at the time, and then out of nowhere on the big screens she sees "Will you marry me, Nicole?" And first of all, her name's not even spelled right, guys. This man spelled her name wrong. I'd be damned, for real. And the other twist is that they've only been dating for 5 months. And so immediately cameras are on them, the press is on them, like everybody's looking. And our male main character comes in and swoops in, kind of saves the day, you know what I'm saying? His name is Carlos, he's a doctor. And that's kind of where their story begins. They start as friends, but you know, obviously it progresses. The writing is top tier and the characters are very, very likable. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It was such a quick read, you know, it's not that long, it's not crazy long. And it was just a book that, it was kind of a palate cleanser, you know? It was funny, it was lighthearted, easy to get through, you know? So I would recommend this if you need like a quick summer read. This is good. Okay, the next book is Getting His Game Back by Gia Cadnett. The male lead's name is Khalid, and he kind of struggles with perfectionism, right? So he wants everything to be perfect, which I can relate to. He owns a business in the setting of this book. This book is set in Detroit, so that's where he owns his business. And he's always trying to take it to the next level, you know, but right now he's kind of stuck and he needs something to push his business out. That's where our female lead comes in. Her name is Vanessa and she has a job in the tech realm. So she does a lot of programming and computer stuff. They end up meeting, I'm not gonna say how, but you're gonna find out. And they come to like a business agreement that she is gonna program an app for his business. They obviously start off as just like business partners and then they're friends, and then like after that, you know, they start liking each other and they both kind of don't want to be distracted by a relationship, you know, they're kind of like the independent type, they don't need anybody, but when they meet each other, all of that changes. I give this book a 5 out of 5. It's really, really good. The writing is good. It's a pretty short read too, so if you're worried about something being too long or intimidating, this took me a day to read, so if you're looking for something quick and fun and lighthearted, this is your book. Now, these last two books are kind of like honorable mentions. Not that they're not good, okay? Please don't get that idea. They are good, but they're kind of random. They don't really go together, but I still wanted to mention them because they are worth reading, I promise. Guys, you have probably seen this author like all over the internet, specifically TikTok, but this book in particular is called Heartless. It's by Elsie Silver, that's the author. She knows how to write, okay? One thing about her, she does not play about her words. This book takes place in Chestnut Springs, and if you know about Elsie Silver's books, you know that she will write like a series of books in a specific place and then another series in another place, but they're all within the same vicinity, if that makes sense. Our main character, Willa, I love her so much. She's so unserious and like funny, and it makes the book so much more enjoyable. She's looking for a quick job, you know, something to make money. She's trying to distract herself, keep her mind off of things, and that's when her best friend comes in and she's like, hey girl, I got a job for you. Is it like, are we operating on a giant tooth? Like, why does it sound like that? She books this job, right? It's an agreement for 2 months. She's gonna look after this kid for 2 months. Now, obviously, we all know what happens. After those 2 months, feelings are still there, you know, she still wants to be a part of the family. But there's a lot of drama in this book. There's a lot of backstory to these characters that we get to hear about, and it's very dramatic. That's the only word I can use to describe it. But the timing of it all is just perfect. Like, the way they come together, I would 100% give this book like 100 out of 5 stars if I could. I would also recommend all of these books. I didn't mention them in depth in this video, but all of Elsie Silver's books are good. Okay, this last book is The Brightest Light of Sunshine. Now, this is a recent read for me. I think I read this like 2 or 3 months ago. Before I get into this book, I do want to put a heavy trigger warning on this book. There's some very heavy topics. The female lead in this book, she's 22 and she's in college. She's a very sweet girl, very lovable, and she's realized that she wants a tattoo. She wants to get something meaningful tattooed on her that's inspired by her parents. She walks up to the tattoo parlor, she walks in, and she chickens out last minute and like runs out. And the owner of the tattoo parlor is the male lead, and he's kind of questioning, you know, why the heck she did that and like what was the motive of it, right? Just like some of the books I mentioned before, they start off as friends, but then obviously one thing leads to another and they find romance. What I love most about this book is the character development and character growth. They're both kind of struggling with certain things. You know, the male lead has family issues and the female lead is kind of trying to find herself. I also forgot to mention the author's name, that's my bad. It's Lasana or Lasina Coney. I think that's how you pronounce it. She has other really great books. My friend actually purchased another book by her, and we kind of do this thing where we buy books and then we tell each other about it so that we can see if it's like worth getting the other book. And she said that it was good, so I would recommend this author. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I mean, I feel like that's pretty obvious. It's just such a great story. All right, guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed my book recommendations. If you guys like these types of videos, I do have more books, as you can see over there, and I will be buying more. So if you want to see more book recommendations, please let me know. Go ahead and like this video if you of course liked it, and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I will see you guys in my next upload. I'm done. Let's freaking go. Okay. Bye.